All right, hello everybody. So I wanted to go over here a little bit more of an advanced kind of maintenance um, aspect of using your PFIB system. Okay, so and this concerns the PFIB column. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I need to pull up the vacuum diagram for the PFIB system. So if you go to your little collapse server here, double click on the green bar, okay? You need to log in now as a service mode, okay? So you click this and then you need to enter the service password, okay? So I'm not going to say what this is here. You can ask your local FSE. It shouldn't be difficult to get this information, but it's probably not appropriate for me to be saying this. So anyways, I'm just going to input it here. Okay, and then when you do this, you see all this other stuff here on the left, okay? So if you come down here to the ion column, you want to open up this TST MDL plasma source, and then you're going to see a diagram of the vacuum system, okay? So with our system in particular, we've been seeing issues with this IGP3 here dying very, very quickly, okay, in a matter of months, which, IGPs really, they should be very long lived, okay? So you shouldn't have to replace these on several months kind of intervals, okay? But but that's what we're, currently dealing with here, okay? So basically, while the plasma source is on, it's putting stress on this IGP. Okay, it's basically wearing it down, okay, and decreasing its life. Okay, so the idea is if you don't need to use the ion source for an extended period of time, then what you can do is you can turn off the plasma source and turn off this IGP, and we can put this into a state where it's still pumping out the column, but this is then off. Okay, so it's not being, you know, worn down or its lifetime depleted. Okay, so this is just a way to increase the longevity of the um, some of the vacuum components. It's the same thing right now. Like you'll notice the CCG. So this little bar here, this is not on right now. This is by design. So the CCG actually it turns on intermittently to sample the vacuum, and that is also by design to help increase the lifetime of this component as well. We can't have both of these off, right, and have the plasma source on. You need this IGP on to do this, okay? But if the trip level here is low, which it is, so that's the green bar, not the green, the blue bar on the right, you can see that this is bottomed out. So that means that the vacuum here is below the low trip level. So you can actually see over here, it's giving you a pressure reading. So, 1.5 E minus 6 millibar, which is very low. You can put it in torr, right? So it's not much different. It's a little bit lower in torr range. So, but anyways, leave it in. Well, I personally prefer torr, but there you go, right? So here's actually where it says CCG sparse sampling, right? So this is why the CCG state is off, right? And you can actually see then it's going to change the state in about 4 minutes, okay, and then turn it on. So, anyways, so if you're going to be doing electron beam only work for an extended period of time, maybe like a day or more. So especially if it's going to be several days, right? People come on this, they do EBSD or they do EDS or something like that. Then there's really no need to keep the plasma source on and this IGP on. Okay. And again, this was the advice given to me by my service technician for our particular system. Okay, so whether or not you have the same problem with yours, these instruments are quirky, sometimes, the same problems don't exist uniformly. Although I don't know that specifically if this is something that is happening regularly with these PFIB systems or not. But anyways, it's something that seems to be happening on ours. So anyways, what do we do here? So again, if you're not, I wouldn't recommend that you do this unless you're in charge of the tool, right? Or if you're not, I would recommend you check with whoever is in charge of the microscope, before you go doing something like this, obviously. So, just as a little bit of a disclaimer here, okay? So I wouldn't just go, doing this off the cuff here just because you saw this video, okay? But I'm doing this for educational purposes here. So anyways, over here, you can click plasma off, and that will turn off the plasma, okay? But now this IGP is still on, okay, because the green bar is still here. So we need to turn this off. So in order to do that, we have to switch the control into manual. Okay, so if you click here, it's going to give you a dialog box here, asking you if you want to switch to manual. Okay, so you have to click OK, and then click the green bar. Okay, and now your IGP is off. Okay, so I believe, yeah, so when you turn this off, the CCG will kick on automatically if it was off. So you can't have both of these. Well, I guess you could, right? If you wanted to, you could have both of these off at the same time. Okay. Again, if you click this here, that's gonna turn off the CCG. Okay. Again, because we're in manual mode, not automatic. Okay. But the issue really is with this IGP here. Okay, so and you can idle the system like this, right? So you have, right? So if you follow the vacuum diagram here, the turbo is pumping out the column here. It's backed by the pre-vacuum pump. This is the valve between those, which is open, and so everything is good to go here. Okay, all right. So that is how to turn off the plasma source and to idle the vacuum system. Okay, so now if we want to turn the plasma source back on, right, when we're ready to actually use it again, we got to turn this IGP back on first. If we go back to automatic, I don't believe it's going to give us a plasma on. I mean, if we click this here, yeah, so it's not giving us an option to turn the plasma on here. So we have to switch back to manual, and we have to turn on this IGP. Okay. And you can see that it turned off the CCG because, again, we have sparse sampling enabled. And so now we can switch to automatic, and now it's giving us an option to turn on the plasma. Okay, so we can go ahead and click this. Now you can tell when this is on. So right now I have the plasma or the FIB quad activated. You can see the green or the bar under beam on is off, or it's not green. So anyway, you can come over here, click plasma on. And this should only take about a minute, I believe. This doesn't take very long to do this. So we'll see here. Okay, and that's it, right? And that's it. So at this point now, we are good to go. Okay, so we can close this, and we can come back here to the server window, and you can click leave service mode. Okay, and then it turns that off. Okay, so that is the video about turning the plasma source off and on and idling the vacuum state of the plasma column while the plasma source is off.